Hello everyone, this is Shosroy, and today I have my first episode of my beginner's guide to World of Warships. When you start the game, this is the first thing that you see, and you'll be here in the port with your 4 tier 1 ships for each line that you can research later in the game. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the battle, shall we? This is your standard start screen. Usually you'll start off with a co-op battle, which we'll get to in a minute. But this will show your team on the left, enemy team on the right, what ship they're playing and what tier they are. So you have username, ship, tier, and what the name of the ship is. You can also use the tab at the top to switch between what kind of mission it is, and it'll give you additional information on how to play each mode and what their emblems are. Which, starting at tier 1, you'll only have cruisers, and it's not until tier 2 that you can branch out. So first things first, we're going to learn how to move our ship, and that is accomplished by hitting W or S. If we hit S, we will move backwards at our engine speed. Go hit W, and we'll move back to stop. Now if we move W again, one will take us to quarter speed, another will do half, 3/4, full speed ahead. Well, that's great. You can now move forward and backward, but there appears to be an island in my way, and while it may take me a while to get there, I kind of don't want to run into the island for several reasons. It won't damage your ship, however you will be a sitting duck, and enemies aren't going to be as convenient as to let you drive in a straight direction. So, how we turn our ship left and right is we move our rudder, which is in the tail of the ship, under the water. When we hold down the A button, we go to max rudder left, and we'll turn indefinitely left as long as we hold down the A button. Now, if I release it, it goes back to 0 rudder, and we just continue to go straight. Now to go right, we'll use the D key, and the same thing will happen. We'll just go to max, and we can feather it by letting off and on to change manually how much we turn at a given time. Now, say I know I really want to turn around, but I don't want to focus entirely on micromanaging my keys. If we hit the E key, we'll go to half rudder, and it will hold there. And it will hold that until I either hit D or A, and then it will revert, or I can alternatively hit Q, and it will take it 1 notch back to center. If we hit E twice, we'll go to max. And that is an automatic full rudder to the right. And if I hit the D key, it will instantly cancel it and send me back to 0. Q accomplishes the same thing, except we go left. So we're going to go left, half rudder, and I can move and use my guns and shoot, all while still turning. Hit Q again, goes to max left rudder, and we'll continue turning and won't have to worry about it. I personally, for the most part, just use manual, because there we hit A and it unlocks it. Now, you can now maneuver your ship. Awesome. How about we go try to find some trouble? I wonder where that bot is, because he hasn't moved from where he spawned at. So we're going to have to go find him. And then I'll show you how to get to the fun part of the game, and that's blowing stuff up. Initially, when you start your battles, the first part of battle is exactly what we're doing right now. Moving into a position to find the enemy ships because they have not been detected. So while we're moving, I'll tell you about gun rotation. You can see them putting into place as I move my cursor. So you use your mouse and move it around. You can see the circles on the screen moving towards where you want to fire. You can also see the guns tracking on your ship. Now, when they're orange, it means they're moving and cannot fire. says aiming guns. When they're on target, you can aim your guns. Now if you draw your attention to the bottom left of the screen, you will see which guns are ready to fire in a given direction by the green indicator 1, 2, 3, and 4 on your ship. Enemy has been spotted. He's on the other side of the ship, so I have to rotate my guns. Or alternatively, I can wait to go around the island and continue to hold my guns this direction and just turn my ship to the left, like so. And all my guns will still be able to draw on him, and I won't have to rotate my back ones all the way around. Now you see the white that is gone around the enemy ship. That means I have him selected, and that now I zoom in with my mouse roll key, roll bar, and he's not moving, so all I have to do is put my green circles on his ship, click the left mouse button to fire. And put it actually on the bottom part of the ship. We're going to line his ship up with the white aiming reticle, and then we'll fire all of our guns by double clicking, and then we'll start getting some good fire on him. Now because he's selected, I don't have to move my cursor. All I have to do is click. And what you're seeing in the fact that my shells aren't all hitting him is dispersion, and each gun has its own dispersion. You also see I'm firing high explosive at him. At the center middle of our screen, you'll see the indicator for what ammunition type I have, and I only have high explosive. You'll see that when I hit his deck with the high explosive, it catches him on fire, and he is now currently taking damage from the fire even without me hitting him. That is the main perk of high explosive, is catching enemies on fire. And I'm gonna come up close to him. He's put the fire out. No, he hasn't. I just couldn't see it. But if you catch on fire, you will burn until it just runs out. Alternatively, you can use the R key, and it will put fires out and repair damaged parts of your ship, and then will go on cooldown. Otherwise, you have to wait for them to repair themselves. Alright, now I'm going to pause it here for a minute and take you to a clip I recorded after filming this, but it was right after this, and it actually gives you a good example of using the repair.
Attention, Echo 1, Area Bravo is defended by the enemy force. Locate and destroy
Ooh!
all targets.
Perfect. Our engine has gone down. We are in fire in 2 different places. So I'm going to use my damage repair using R. That was a wicked opening volley. And there you have it. That would be a perfectly good reason to use your repair ability. And back to our scheduled programming. I'm going to come up to a stop here. And I'll talk about how to use your leveling system to hit different parts of the ship at different distance. At 2 kilometers, we're virtually point blank. All we're going to do is put the white line on his water line, and we'll fire. High explosive is actually more effective in the superstructure, which is the top part of the ship, all the rigging and such, because that's what will catch on fire. However, I don't really want to catch him on fire right now. And you'll see that our shells fire pretty much in a straight trajectory, except for our dispersion. When we were firing before, we had a much higher dispersion at that, well, same dispersion, but farther away, had more chance for the shells to go off track. Here at 2 kilometers, we don't have that problem. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish this up.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
Because I want to go over firing at a target while it moves. Because firing at a target while it moves is much trickier. But we're going to have the same battle conditions. Alright, ready to go. You can go ahead and start your engines So as soon as the match starts, you can already be moving instead of waiting all the way until the match is underway to then start moving. It'll save you a couple seconds here and there. Now I know because of how the enemy spawn system is, the first ship will be in the same position as it was before, but he'll be moving this time, and most likely he'll be heading towards my cap circle, because if he captures that, he wins. And this is the standard game mode. We each have a base, and each enemy ship will be displayed at the top. Right now we can see there's only one of each of us. You can also see our bases, and if those, when you're capturing those, you'll see how much is being captured on those emblems at the top middle of the screen, as well as if I were to look actually at the base, it would show green on how much is being captured, or on my base, red in around the square to see how much is being captured. Additionally, in standard and in domination modes, there are points which you can see in the top middle, and for each control point we have, we gain points. So first to 1,000 points will win if the base is not captured or you sink enemy ships. So there are 3 ways to win, and that is capture the base, sink all enemy ships, or get 1,000 points. Now we just saw him for a moment, and if you now look down to the bottom right, there's our mini map. It will show us where we're looking, and you'll see that as the big cone. When I zoom in, it will show a narrower cone for my field of vision. You also see a line coming from my icon, which is which direction my ship is moving. And you'll also see at this position, that was his last known position. But I did that a bit late. But there he is. Now he's moving, so if I fire at his ship 5 kilometers, well, now I'm missing him. I have to adjust my fire towards the front, turn my ship so I can get all my guns on him, and now I'm hitting. Now at 5 kilometers, the dispersion is not much, and he's the same ship as me, so he goes a maximum of 20 knots. So he's not very fast either. So I'm going to prepare for him to come around this island, because I assume he's going to stay on the same heading. Zoom in to a comfortable range. And since I don't have him selected, I have to manually move around, and now I'm selected. Now I'm not touching anything, and my fire is staying right on him. At 3 kilometers, I can put it at the front of his ship, and still... Now we've got a collision warning. That's the noise, and it shows which direction on the screen where I'm about to collide. Now we're still closing the distance. I don't want to engage him quite this close, which in Tier 1 matches you tend to do. You will get this close. But he is indeed heading straight for my base. Now, it also, you can see my rear turrets turning around and how long it takes to get them around. So there are cases where that's unavoidable, but there are also cases where you just want to turn your ship in a way that makes you not turn your turrets, because your turrets turn much slower in comparison to your ship at times. Now I'm going to let him get into my base. Then I'll show you what it's like when an enemy is capturing your base. You get a warning, and you hear the siren, and now you can see both on the icon and the at the top of the screen that he is being captured. And I also am not gaining points like he is. So he is now in the lead, and if the match were to end on time, he would win. However, I'm here to defend my base, and if I were to hit him with a shell, it would reset how much capture points he has. And you get ribbons, so it's additional experience and credits. Now, I am now entering my base, so he is no longer capturing it, which again you can tell by the icons. And that's the basics. That's really all there is to it. It's all about knowing your distance, knowing your lead, knowing your guns. And I would highly recommend downloading the training mod that I have here if you want to play bots one-on-one instead of co-op battles where you have many bots. But that will be the next segment. And for now, I'll leave you with one more thing, and that is what happens if you ram another ship with yours. The short answer is usually you both die. The longer answer is you each deal damage equal to your max health. So since we are the same ship, we will be dealing 4,950 hit points to each other. Ramming is fairly rare, but it does happen. It is part of the game. If you're on low health, you still do full damage. So if you're about to die and you can ram an enemy ship with a lot of health, do it.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
Isn't that exciting? Well, I hope this was informative. Our next video will have a much more exciting co-op battle. And before I leave you, we'll go over the scoreboard. This ended in a draw because we both died. Training room, so we have no credits or experience. Shows how much damage I did, how many hits were on target, and what kind of hits they were, which is a topic for another video. Ribbons for defending the base, destroying a ship, causing fire, and causing flooding. Team score shows you how much experience and how many ships you sank, how many planes you shot down. Here's your experience and any battle battle achievements. Here's a detailed report on what damage we did where, how many we destroyed, how much damage we did, and how we damaged them. Other causes: fire, flooding, ramming. So we only did 900 damage ramming while he did 4,000 something. The health of our ship, yeah, 4,950. And this will be credits and experience and how we got what. However, we don't get any in the training room. Once again, I hope this was informative and helpful, and the next video will be much more exciting. Until then, take care. Hey, one last thing for this video. I was actually going to go ahead and show you how to get the training room if you're interested. There are also plenty of other mods, but it's just starting out. I would go ahead and recommend just getting the training room. That'll let you try out different things with your ships and see what they can do. You go to Aslan.com, and its spelling's right here. I'll also put a link in the description, and then you'll go to your World of Warships mod pack. And I'll take you to the forum post with it here. I used USA Mirror number 2 for my region, and one didn't work out right. It's very simple, because you just download that, and once it's downloaded, this is what it'll look like. Select your language, and then it will initialize, and you can go ahead and enable the sound and preview, so that way if you see something you think will be interesting, it should show you an image or sound if available. It already knows where to put everything. You can just hit next. But the training room, which is what I want to really focus on here, is all the way near the bottom, and it will be under various mods. Group 3 training room enabler. You just click this here and make sure it's selected, and you can go through other things. Hit next. Do a clean install. Always do a clean install no matter what you install. And that's it. Then you just have to open up World of Warships and select training from the icon that will either say co-op, random battle. You click that down and there's an option for training. But I hope this helps, and good luck out there.